Crusty mag, crusty gun. No problem. Hey everyone, it's Preston here with Citizen Response, and today I've got a little bit different of a video. Instead of focusing on pistol shooting, I'm going to be talking about this bag, what's in it, and why you might be interested in setting something up similar to this yourself. So kind of before I get into a tabletop breakdown of what I got in this bag, I think everybody knows, if you're watching this video in the future, we'll see what happens, but there's chaos amid in the streets, there's rioting, protesting, violent destruction, looting, as well as police officers quitting or leaving the jobs in Atlanta, for example. A lot of the precincts, from rumors I've heard, they're not showing up to work and they're not answering calls. So why might you want something like this before you even know what's in it? Well, if you find yourself surrounded by a mob of people, a violent crowd who want to drag you out of your car and kill you, or you find yourself in a situation trapped on the highway with no officers responding, and you've potentially got a violent mob somewhere near you, and you got to get, let's say 3-4 miles on foot back to your house, home, safe to your family. This is something you actually might want to keep in your car. Now, I'm not advocating that under normal circumstances you leave a unsecured firearm in your car, and I actually have a locking mechanism that I can lock the gun away so no one can steal the gun. So this is not meant to be, I put this on in the split of a second to respond to an active shooter. This is, I've got information, I've gathered intel, something's going wrong and the police are not going to be able to help me get to where I need to go, so I need to be prepared and I need to be able to defend myself and my friends who might be with me, or my family who might be with me. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get in, and we're going to set up on the truck bed. I'm going to show you the contents of what's in this bag and how it can save your life. Alright everyone, so here we have the bag, and first things first, I've got my EDC pistol, which is currently the Glock 48. Yes, it is cocked and locked. It is hot because I carry it. I got it with the Discreet Carry Concepts holster, Almeida Custom holster, and I've got my extra 10-round magazine. Now, I always have this on me, love it, good to go, but this is only 21 rounds with one in the pipe. So if I get into a situation where I want a little bit more firepower, I get into a situation where things could get deadly, I want all the advantages I could have. So I'm going to have this on me at all times, but this bag is supplemental in case a mob comes through my town and starts burning down houses. Now, the reason I have this in a compact bag is I travel between different houses depending on where I'm in, whether I'm at school, whether I'm at home. I travel between different houses in different cities, so I like having everything I need in a small compact bag that I can unload and use when I need to. So now we're going to get into the contents of what I carry in here and why. So first things you see right off the bat, I've got my pistol lower connected to my 10.5-inch pistol upper. Now it is connected with the sling, so it's all one piece. All I have to do to get this thing ready to go is pop these two pins right here, if I can get them. There we go. Now my gun is ready to go. All I have to do, rack the charging handle, and I've got 28 rounds ready to go. I say 28 because I load these magazines up to 28 so that I can easily seat them, so I can do tack reloads if necessary. Now I'm going to do a full video on this gun in the future, but the important points, I've got a white light on here that I can use for identifying, seeing what I'm doing, and then I've got an aim point red dot that's always on, aim point pro, always on, so if I ever need it, I don't have to worry about turning it on. It's good to go. That's my rifle of choice. Small, compact, 10.5-inch barrel, but still packs a punch out to 200 yards. Not expecting to use it past 50, let's say. So now we're moving on to the next piece of gear. I've got my Spiritus Systems chest rig. I've got this so it holds multiple different tools that can help me out. I've got, most important I think actually right here, is the tourniquet holder. I've got a tourniquet right here because if you're planning on getting in anything dangerous or living life, it's good to have a tourniquet because it's the only thing that'll stop bleeding. I've got some, as you can see, some zip ties right here that I can use for different purposes, and I've got a Sharpie for marking the time in which the tourniquet was applied. Now, moving up a little bit, I've got my headlamp. This is just a Cabela's headlamp, so I can see where I'm going. It's 500 lumens and it's got white and green light. I've got a set of binoculars in here because since I'm running the red dot, I want to be able to get some magnification to scout ahead and identify potential threats, and I don't necessarily want to point my gun at something when I'm just taking a look, scouting ahead. Got Ear Pro. These are Peltor Ear Pro. These are very important. I don't want to blow my ears out, and these actually allow me to hear a little bit better. I've got a set of gloves, mechanics gloves, because you always need gloves. Got my SE knife. This is my hunting knife. I use this rig for hunting as well. Hopefully I don't have to use this ever as a combat knife, but it's there just in case I need it. And then I've got 3 Brownells 30 round mags with mag pulls on them so I can easily access them. And these are loaded up with 28 as well so that I can do a tack mag and seat the mag if necessary. So this allows me to have a really lightweight package that allows me to carry extra gear that I normally would not have stowed away in my truck. And now we're moving on to the final piece of gear. This is my IFAK, my med kit that rides on the small of my back or on my 3 o'clock depending on what I'm carrying. And here, this is a Live the Creed small IFAK. I've got an extra tourniquet right here because why not have 2? And then I'm not going to show all the contents of this, but what you do is you open this up right here, you rip this part out, and it contains all the stuff that I've got in there. I've got a shed of trauma shears, I've got Israeli bandage, I've got chest seals, I've got gauze, I've got everything you might need, but in a really small compact package that doesn't weigh me down. Alright everyone, so here you have it. This is all the gear laid out in a gloriously disastrous pile that you might need if you find yourself in a terrible apocalyptic level situation. I hope that, no one ever has to use this stuff. I hope I never have to use this stuff. I hope I'm just LARPing on the internet for fun. But you never know. Never in a million years did I think that the Atlanta Police Department would all resign and not answer calls, hundreds of armed robberies and no responses. Never in a million years did I think that would happen. But then again, that's why we carry these things, that's why we carry guns, is because we're not preparing for the statistically likely, we're preparing for the statistic and probability. But if you find yourself in the situation, this is the only thing that's going to get you out alive. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that everyone is staying safe. I hope that everyone is using the most of this quarantine, and I hope that the Lord blesses you in your life, whether you were able to see it or not. You guys have a good rest of your day.